Hey Chris here, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to jump on my phone and I'm going to share with you the completely new part of the Stake investing app where you can actually invest in properties in Saudi Arabia. Stake have very kindly given me early access to this, so we're going to check it out and I'll show you everything that there is to see on this new part of the app. Before I share my phone screen at the side of me here though, just like to quickly mention the Investing Boss Facebook group. If you're not yet a member, there'll be a link down in the description. And of course, on there, we talk all things investing and specifically to do with the Stake platform. But having said that, let's throw my screen up here at the side then. So normally what people would be used to looking at is this interface here, which shows the Dubai side of the app. But all we're going to need to do at the top there is click on properties. Then you can see it says switch market, switch to Saudi Arabia. So I'll go ahead and click on that. It's now switching over. And we can see here, so yeah, I've got early member access to it. This is the Mulkia Backyard Income Generating Fund, and its value is just over £39 million. There's currently just shy of 49% available, so around 50% has already been invested into. And the fund term for this is 48 months, so 4 years. The average annual rate of return is 10.63%, and I'll talk to you a bit more about what I mean by the average. And the dividend yield is 8% there, which is very nice. And then the dividend distribution schedule is, of course, monthly, which we would expect from this kind of fund. Just like with the Dubai side of it, rental income is paid out at the end of every month on here. Potentially for future funds, they might change that to quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. So maybe if you are someone that wants to be paid monthly, then it's good to just double check that before you invest in a fund. Let's go ahead and click on it then, and we'll load it up as a larger screen. So we've got a virtual tour, which we'll have a quick look at. The fund memo part there has a lot of extra information. But before we carry on further down, let me just open up the main photos here. So these are the two buildings here. So there's one on the right-hand side and then just there on the left. So it's two separate buildings, but it's all of this that you would be an owner of. Then what I like to actually see is the fact that there's a lot of cars parked there. You'd obviously want to invest somewhere that is popular and not just a building that has 0 people visiting it and no chance of generating rental income. If we move through the photos then, another outside photo. Here's an inside photo. Another one there. And yeah, just going through them. Very nice quality building inside, it looks like. And that's it for the photos there. Now, if we go back, we can see, again, it's the same information we were just checking out there, except they've included the return on equity here. So over those 4 years, they estimate you'll get a return of 44.85% there, which is very nice. Then we can scroll further down, tells you it's 8,500 square meters, basically. It's in the Al Yasmin district in Riyadh. It's income generating, of course, as we mentioned. It's Sharia compliant and regulated by the Capital Market Authority. Further down, there's the summary there, which I won't read all of that out word for word, but if you want to read that out, then of course pause the video now. And then we have a just a short video here of the backyard building, so I'll just go ahead and play that. Some great drone shots there of the outside of the building. And further down from the video, we can see the fund manager, Mulkia Investment, then the developer there, Araji 7th. So saying they're a very large part of the Riyadh investment and real estate development side of things. And then again, it's the location. So we can click on view on map if you wanted to do this, of course. And you can see it's just there, and you can then zoom out and check the exact location that it is in Riyadh. So it's like the north side of the Riyadh city there. And then you can zoom all the way out, of course, and see it's not too far from your Dubai investments, if you have investments on the Stake app over in Dubai, with Dubai just over here. Then further down, we can see some more information there about the location. Again, pause your screen now if you want to read through all that. And then we have 4 documents to go through here, which I won't go through all of them, but I'll go through the fund memo because that one has, I think, the most information. Actually, it's just 2 documents, English and in Arabic. So fund memo and then the fund terms and conditions. But as an early access member to this, you'll see here it currently says Saudi Riyals SAR 50,000, which is £10,500. And that's because the minimum investment for a early member access to this is 50,000 Saudi Riyal. Now, I haven't quite got £10,500 spare to just put into this, so I can't do that. But at the end of the video, I'll let you know how much I'll be investing in this fund, and I'll let you know what the minimum investment is once this goes live to everyone on the Stake platform. But the next thing to do is click on Virtual Tour. So it starts you off here right at the outside, basically next to the main road. And yeah, you got the car park there on either side, and then you can just select this here on the screen and go in towards the building. It's going to be this button here to click on, so you can see some units here that are empty currently, and then we can go further inside here. And yeah, just look around if that's what you want to do. You can see here Hunger Station, which is actually the largest tenant in the building, makes up 50%. I'll talk about that more in a second. There you go, backyard branding there. And yeah, it's crazy to think that you'd actually be owning a share of all these units here. But if we come out the virtual tour and we'll click on this fund memo here in the top right hand corner, and I think this fund memo is so well presented because you can literally just scroll down here. So it says overview. So Stake, of course, the distributor, fund manager, then gives you all the information, which companies are like the auditors, the property manager and leasing agent, the Sharia committee, custodian, everything here, the valuators. And then we can scroll down. Now, I said I'd let you know at the end of the video what the minimum investment is, but it's just popped here on the screen. So per unit price, so the denominator of it, 1 unit is 10 Saudi Riyal, but the minimum investment is 500 Saudi Riyal, which is £105. So roughly, if you're watching in the US, £105 at the current exchange rate is maybe $130, something like that. So really not a lot of money to get started with this. You could just put £105 in and you own a share. If we zoom in here to this fund objective, there's actually an interesting bit of information here, which I hadn't seen anywhere else. And it talks about the purpose of establishing this income fund. And it says it's a multi-tenancy asset and fully leased. The fund aims to generate income from rental contracts, of course. But then the cool information here, it says, in the second year, the fund manager will endeavor to raise a Sharia-compliant financing and distribute a special dividend to unit holders. So what that means is in the second year, you'll actually get an extra dividend paid on top of your normal rental dividends, what's known as a special dividend, which is great. That's really good. Then at the it says the fund manager will aim to sell the property at the end of the 4th year with the objective of maximizing the annual rate of return and return on average equity for investors. Some further information letting you know exactly what it's comprised of: 38 offices, 15 showrooms. And obviously at any point, if you want to pause the screen so you can read this, I won't read absolutely everything out. There was information here actually saying about Hunger Station, I think it was called, multi-tenancy asset and fully leased, average lease term of over 4 years, 50% leased by a single tenant. Now, if we scroll down, I was a bit worried about that and skeptical because I thought, well, if half of the entire offices are leased by one tenant, that's not great. If they leave, then the manager has to find, a lot of new tenants there. But if we scroll down here, more information on location there. Gallery again with more photos. Yeah, there we go. Hunger Station. So it actually says here, and again, pause your screen if you need to, 50% of the lease area to Hunger Station who have recently renewed their 5-year lease contract up to November 2029. So, of course, that means that we're going to get our dividend payments from Hunger Station all the way up until the sale, because this is they're going to aim to sell these in 2029 and probably the first half of 2029. So you've got half of the tenants in there actually, nothing's guaranteed in investing, of course, but very likely to get your dividend payments from that one tenant there for half the properties. Scrolling further down, we can see the fund size, 187 million Saudi Riyal. And the valuation is actually the higher valuation was 180,800,000. Then the lower valuation was 172,803,000, with the average valuation there of 176,801,500. So the purchase price, because the purchase price is at 170 million, it's actually been purchased at a 4% discount to the average valuation, meaning for investors that the purchase price there was 170, and yeah, it's lower than the lowest valuation. Now, because of the fees that have been put on by, various companies, not just Stake, but other companies, that's why it's 187 million total for the fund size there, because you're not just buying the property. If you were buying it outright yourself, you'd still have lots and lots of fees to pay there. It's not Stake's fee is actually a very small percentage of it. Yeah, you got all these other fees there, as you can see, and Stake are very open about sharing exactly which fees you have there. Scrolling further down, you've got the fund structure. So 187 million purchased there, 100% equity funded through Stake. Developer contribution in cash of 5% of the fund size, and then 95% funded by Stake investors. Then in the second year, unit holders equity of 89 million, and then the financing raised and distributed to investors via special dividend, 98 million Saudi Riyal there. Then you got a further breakdown of the expected returns, how the dividends are going to be paid, the dividend yield, etc. Even more information, again, pause your screen if you want to look at any of this in further detail. Then you've got the return sensitivity. So the base case is they're estimating 10.63. It could be that, a annual return of 7.81%, which is still reasonable. It's not, amazing, but it's still okay. And then there's an optimistic case. So if it performs better than expected, you could have an annual return of 13.26. But that's, of course, why they go for the average. They're not going to say, this is going to get you 15% returns and try and mislead anyone. This is just the conservative base and then optimistic cases shown for you there. Then there's a further cost breakdown further down the list. And then there's an overview about Stake, how they have 820,000 users now in over 200 countries, 170 nationalities. And currently, they've done 540 million Saudi Riyal in property transactions. Further down, more information on backers and partners, and then the board and investment committee. And that's everything there on the fund memo. But now you've seen everything on the Saudi Arabia part of the app on Stake. Just like to let you know that I'll very likely just be doing maybe the £105 into that property. It just depends over the next coming weeks what I can sort of budget to allow to go to one side, because I have just done a fairly large investment into some Dubai properties on the exit window in November. Please do comment below with your thoughts. Are you going to be investing in this fund when it's available for everyone on the Stake platform? Let me know if you enjoyed this video by tapping the like button. I appreciate the support. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.